Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. Helping Parents Heal goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non-dogmatic way. Helping Parents Heal affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background, and encourage an open dialogue. Attendance at all Helping Parents Heal meetings is voluntary. All discussions that take place at affiliate-led meetings are confidential. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Zoom meetings that are run by Helping Parents Heal leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest speakers and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of Helping Parents Heal meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with children who have passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members. So we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. I'll just read a very short bio that Pauline has written. Pauline writes, I have been touched with the gift of clairvoyance since the age of 12. My psychic abilities have developed further over the years, and I now work as an international clairvoyant and medium. I travel across Great Britain and Europe, giving private readings and spiritual healing. My work also involves offering spiritual teaching. My greatest pleasure is witnessing the joy on people's faces after offering guidance and delivering messages from their loved ones in spirit to help people on their journeys through life. I will have Kathy put Pauline's website in the chat and also her email address. Please contact Pauline to schedule a private reading. I had a reading with Pauline years ago. It was actually during the certification process when Pauline was being tested by Mark Ireland. I had an incredible reading with Pauline, and Carly came through loud and clear. So I highly recommend that you go ahead and have a reading with Pauline. So without further ado, Pauline, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody, and it's wonderful to be back with Helping Parents Heal. It gives me great pleasure to bring your family back to you, knowing that they are just a breath away from us. And I've made loads of notes since about 6 o'clock tonight, because it's 8 o'clock here in the evening. And the first young lady that stepped forward was a very pretty blonde girl. She showed me very pretty hair. She showed me a beach, palm trees, and I think this is a memory of a holiday. There was some blood condition with her. Her immune system was affected. She progressively worsened, debilitated, became very, very weak, and there was nothing anybody could do to help her. So that's what I've got, but she's extremely pretty, and she shows me herself walking along this beach, but I feel this beach is either a holiday memory, unless she's lucky enough to live somewhere like that. So I just need somebody to be able to connect to her. But it's bloods, it's the immune system, and it progressively worsened with her.
Okay, if anyone can take any of this information, please type it into the chat. Pauline, do you have an age on this young person?
She's quite young. Late teens into her 20s, very pretty, very slim, and she's got on like a turquoisey blue dress, so I know that would have been a colour she liked.
Okay, I'm just waiting to see if anyone can take that. Nicole is saying her daughter was 11. I don't know if you think.
This girl's
okay.
Much. Yeah, sorry. But it was walking along the beach, whether there's a video of her doing it or this is a particular memory, but that's what she kept showing me in this pretty blonde hair. But I feel this condition came on quite quickly. I don't think it was something she suffered with during the course of her life.
Okay.
Nobody at all. Nobody understands any part of that. She talks about a brother or brothers, because I've just heard brother, brothers. And there would have been a family dog which she was extremely close to as well.
Okay, Mary is saying, sounds like our daughter, but the disease was different. And I don't know if you're saying brother and dog. Mary, how old was your daughter? And did she have blonde hair? Could you just put that in the chat? Mary saying 28 and blonde. Do you want to talk to Mary,
Yeah.
Pauline?
Yeah,
And
can do.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask her to unmute. Hi, Mary, can you please unmute?
Yes, hi.
Can you wave to me,
Okay.
Mary? Can you?
I can
Hi.
pin
Hi.
her.
Yes, I can see you. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello. And does this beach make some sense to you, walking along this beach?
Yes, we live in a southern climate in the beach that we've walked on together. And the first time I thought she was speaking to us, we were walking on the beach and little birds followed us all along that beach.
Fabulous. And there were palm trees and it was just idyllic. But it was like a turquoisey bluey sundress she'd got on, and whether she liked to wear that colour, but that's what she's got on today. And she looks at me and she smiles at me and she's really very beautiful. She's what I want to call a natural beauty.
She was absolutely that. Yes.
But within all of that, she was such a giving girl as well. And that's what's really pulling me now, because I feel quite emotional as she comes in and reaches out, because she had so much love and life in her that to suddenly have her life cut short. But I feel this started with this debilitating feeling. I want to be a bit breathless. I can't do the things I want to do. And I can see her dancing, but all of that she couldn't do because she couldn't breathe properly, because her immune system was down. And this was affecting absolutely everything. You understand that? And
Absolutely.
is there a family dog as well?
Yes, there was a family dog that she absolutely adored.
Right. But I see her with animals anyway, and I know that this girl just loved animals. Did she ever write poetry, or did she ever put beautiful words together? Do you understand that?
Yes, she did write poetry.
Because she shows me that as well. Then she shows me her teeth. Was there a problem with her teeth? Did she have to have a brace early in her life?
She did have braces early and she had a beautiful, beautiful smile because she went on to be an actress.
I wanted to say she's a model. She has to be a model, this girl. But everybody loved her. This is what made it so sad. But this condition came on her quite slowly, and then it moved. And she was wondering why she couldn't do the things she wanted to do anymore. But then I'm feeling this was to do with the bloods, the immune system, and it progressively got worse.
Yes.
Understand
Yes.
that. Thank you. So let's work. And she wants to remind you of the fun times that she shared with you about everything. The times that she would have wanted to give up and you would have got hold of her, cuddled her and said, come on, you can do this. You can do this. And she's very family orientated and she reaches out to both of you. Are you her father?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Because she reaches out to both of you. But I feel when she was laid in your arms, when she was born, it took your breath away. That's what I want to say. She had such a pulling power with her, and she grew up, and you watched her, and she accelerated in many things that she could do. But I also see her reading lines, so standing on a stage and projecting a voice. And I feel you would have had to listen to all of this. You would have had to listen to her lines and start again. But this didn't just start in her adult life. She did this as a child as well. She was always wanting to dance and be in a show or do something. You would understand that.
Yes, ever since a small child.
Thank you. And she comes in here today and she also shows me a necklace, but it's almost like there's two halves to it. Do you know this necklace?
It's a tree of life necklace that I gave her that I now have. Mhm.
Right, okay. Two halves to it. So is it two individual scenes? Is there a tree and something else on it?
There's a tree. A tree is
And the
very
roots.
symmetrical, so maybe that's what you see.
Roots. Okay, that's fine. She talks about her life. She talks about how magical it was. I feel she travelled. I feel she had every opportunity possible, but this happened, and you would have questioned why. And I can't tell you the answer to that. I really can't. But what I can tell you is she is just that breath away from you. She's never far from you, ever. And you still walk on that beach,
Yes.
and do you feel her?
Yes.
Good. And there's a particular smell about her, a perfume or some particular perfume that she wore?
Um, Sometimes, not, yeah,
She
not
t-
particularly.
she tells me she was quite a natural girl, so whatever she did was a very natural. She looked natural. Uh, and
Yeah.
and not one of these kids that wore a lot of makeup. I
No.
feel as a little girl, she loved pretty things. She went through a time where she didn't, and she liked to be in her trousers and messing about, and then she blossomed. Um, and she just wants to say to both of you, thank you. Thank you for everything that you did, and for what you're still doing as well now. And I want you to take this love and her blessings, and thank you both very, very much. It was the beach, the dress, and running along that really caught my eye with her.
Thank you.
Also, I've got one more thing down here. She was also a very clever girl.
Oh, yes. Very, very clever. Very,
Yeah.
very smart.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you for letting me share that with you. Thank you.
Thank
Um,
you.
okay, so the next
Beautiful.
the next child that came in was a small male child, and he was born with either a problem in his heart or a valve or something here, and he would have survived. Um, he told me between 2 and 4, but it was heart failure. His heart actually stopped, but I feel they did an awful lot to try and save this child.
Okay. Can anyone take that? I know Kathy's, yes, putting it in the chat. So he was just a toddler when he passed, and he had a heart condition.
Between 2 and 4 maximum. But I feel it was touch and go. There was a lot of hospital appointments. But this kid smiled all the way through it, And I don't know why I get a name like Brad coming in. I don't know if that's a family name or where that connects.
Okay. I don't know if anyone can take that, but also Pauline, we do put it up on YouTube, so maybe someone that's going to be watching
Okay.
could be for them. No one is taking anything right now.
Right. Okay. I'm going to leave him then, bless him. And all right. Then there was another boy that followed that, but he was older, and he was fit and healthy. He played sport, he enjoyed life, and he was very, very popular. But he also had some sort of a heart condition which took him quite quickly. This was a lad that was good at football, he was good at everything, he was bright, he was athletic. I feel he came from a very loving family. He keeps riding up and down on a bicycle, so I know he would have ridden this bicycle. He was quite unique in who he was, quite a unique child as well. But I feel that he went on to, not out of childhood, but he went on before this actually happened. But I feel I want to be sort of late teens when this actually occurred, that he had this heart problem. But there again, it was a blood clot, and it happened really, really quickly.
Okay. Can anyone take this information? I'll just wait a minute to see. Darren is saying me. Darren, can you just put in the chat? All right, your son was 15. So I'm gonna ask Darren to
And they-
unmute
There's
Pauline.
somebody else who's taking it, but she, I think
Okay.
mistakenly sent me a direct message, so it's not showing up. Elaine's iPhone is saying sounds like her son as well.
Okay.
Okay. So Darren is saying the son was 15, played every sport. Whoever the iPhone person, if they could put in the chat for all of us so we could read it. Is it Elaine? Did you say it was Elaine?
Yeah, Elaine. Elaine's iPhone.
Okay.
If you could switch your messaging to everyone instead of me directly.
Now, so far, Pauline, I don't know if you're seeing in the chat, Darren has said, son was 15, played every sport, popular, died suddenly, rode mountain bikes. Elaine's
the bike.
iPhone said,
Yeah. It's the bike. The bike, he was really good on this bike. And I feel he was acrobatic with it as well.
okay, so I'll ask Darren to unmute and we'll see if Darren is the correct person. Hi, Darren.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm Alicia. I forgot to change my husband's name off of here.
Okay, is it Alicia with an A? Because I can change it.
Yes, I'm sorry, Alicia. Mhm.
Can you
Okay.
wave to me so I can see you? Oh, hi. All right. So you understand everything I've said and very, very good on this bike.
Well, I want to add the caveat, though it may not be us, and I'm drawing a blank on what it's called. He was doing a TikTok challenge where like
Yeah.
it's called a choking game, and so it carotid it shut off his carotid artery, and
Right.
he died suddenly, but not intentionally. So it wasn't a heart problem. So I don't know if that really fits for what you're saying.
Right.
I couldn't type it in. I was drawing a blank on what it was called and was getting frazzled.
Right. Okay. I've definitely got that it formed a blood clot.
It was not a blood clot. It just cut off the blood to his brain
Right.
immediately and made him pass out and then suffocate.
Right. Okay. I just got it would have been a blood clot. The heart would have, with the heart being a problem, the heart would have stopped immediately. But I don't feel there was an illness with him. I don't feel this was an illness. It was something that just happened.
It was correct. It was just a sudden, unexpected, not an illness, not a heart defect or anything like that.
Right. And you you understand about this bike because it's the bike he keeps showing me. He would have it up on the front wheel and then down again. And he played a lot of sport. He was very popular and he really enjoyed life.
Yeah, mountain bikes wasn't his major thing. Football and baseball were, but he did really enjoy mountain biking.
Yeah,
It was,
played a lot of sport and he liked the outdoors.
Yes, always outside.
Right. Was there anybody else, or do you feel this is your son?
Well, like I said, if there's someone who maybe fits the heart thing more, I don't want to take away from somebody else.
Right. Okay.
I don't think so, Pauline. Kathy, what do you think? You want to unmute? Is there any, I might have missed something.
I'm not seeing anybody unless Elaine's son, who was an athlete, had passed by a heart or a blood clot. But other than that, I'm not seeing anyone else.
Right. Okay.
But certainly, yeah.
Okay. Let's go on a bit further with him. What I see with him is a very open. He would have got out of bed laughing, and he was full of life the whole time through.
Yes, very gregarious.
And would have teased you.
Yes.
He would have tormented you. And
yes.
I can hear you saying, "Get that jumper off. I want to wash it," but he didn't want it off because he wanted to wear it. So,
Yes.
so as long as you can understand all that, let's go with it. All right.
He drove me crazy. I used to say, "I'm not your friend, I'm your mother," because he would call me bruh, and So,
but he absolutely adored you. He absolutely adored you, and he must have also won trophies, medals, certificates, some sort of thing to do with the sport.
Everything: wrestling, track, football, baseball.
He was good at everything. Did he ever step into martial arts or do any of that?
Yes, taekwondo.
Because that's the next thing he showed me. He showed me the martial arts. And okay, was he suffering with a back tooth? Because he's just given me chronic toothache here.
Not that I know of.
Right, I've got chronic toothache, and I feel he had to have a filling. Is that what you call them there? A filling.
Mhm.
He just shows me that. But he was interested in everything, and he had an army of friends around him. I feel he played his music too loud, and he said I was absolutely a thorough nuisance, but in a very lovely way.
Yes.
Don't that-
You
a
know
very-
what, Pauline, he had recently had his I can't think of words today. The teeth removed that teenagers have done. What am I trying to say?
wisdom teeth, the wisdom teeth.
Wisdom teeth, yes.
Yeah,
And
that's
he made a very funny video of himself on the anesthesia, you know, being all silly. And
yeah. Okay, that's
something
fine. Because I
we
know if
do.
I've got a pain here, there was something to do with the tooth. And if it's
Mhm.
the wisdom teeth happen to come out, that's absolutely fine. And he laughs and he said to me it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. But I can see him crunching on sweets and things like that. So although we shouldn't do that with our teeth, we know we shouldn't. He did it. But he comes with such a lot of love, and he shows me a tree. Now, have you planted something? Is there some memory of foliage or something to him?
Um, hmm. We live in the desert, so there's not a whole lot of big trees. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay, it just shows me this tree. So let's just go on a bit further with it and see what else he wants to say. But I can hear loud music. I can see the room a bit of a mess, and he'd kick stuff out the way so you wouldn't see it was there. You were forever shouting at him to bring his laundry out, and he never did it. And is it you that does the baking? Did you bake cakes?
Yes, I'm a huge baker. Mhm.
Because I can see
Love
him
my
coming by
cooking.
and taking them, just taking them and running off with them. And chocolate, he adored chocolate. But he's here today. There has to be a birthday or a celebration in the family coming up.
Um, not anything real soon that I can think of.
There's some sort of a celebration because it's a cake. He's bringing a cake with him. So I want a celebration of some sort coming in here with him. And he's laughing at this. And do you have a daughter?
I have another son.
You have another son. Was there a girl he used to tease the life out of?
Well, lots.
Um, I just feel that, but I feel girls loved him. I feel girls absolutely loved him. But
Yeah.
he thought life was a big game, and that's what he did. He just played
Yes.
the game. But when he was sick and you know, in his growing up times, it was you he came to. It was you that comforted him and made him feel better. I want to be outdoors. I want to get a tent and sleep in that because that's a great new adventure as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything like we have a Jurassic Park here where you can go? Because he's showing me dinosaurs and stuff like that. Was there any connection? Did he have toy dinosaurs? Something to do with dinosaurs?
When he was little, I mean, he
Yeah.
was 15, so that
That's
was
fine.
long
When he
ago.
was little, I don't care how far back we want to take it. But I feel he was quite eager to get on with his life, and I can see him staggering to walk, little chubby legs going along. But he did it, and that's what he was like in life. He was a survivor. He was going to get through this.
We
And
adopted him from an orphanage when he was
oh,
14.
bless him.
So he
Um,
was a survivor. He was very tough.
And just know how much he loves you. Please know that. Know how much love he showers the family with. He's in every waking moment, every room of your home. He's there watching you. And the baking of the cakes was just a highlight for him. And I just need to give you that. I keep hearing it's a very English name, Alan. Do you have an Alan?
His brother is Archer, which is very English.
Very English. Okay, all right.
Well, Archie was a name we had considered and went with Archer for his brother.
Right. Okay, that's lovely. And have you a dog in the spirit world?
No, my husband does.
Because he shows me this dog he's with, and it looks like sort of like our golden retrievers, that type of dog, a fluffy dog, a bit like your dog, Irene, that type of a looking dog.
I'm allergic to dogs, so we never had dogs, but my husband did have dogs.
Well, he's got this dog in the spirit world. I need to tell you that. but comes with so much love. And something he wore around his neck that you've kept.
Yep. Yep.
And just lots of love, lots of love. And he talks about coffee. Did he drink too much coffee, or is it you that's drinking too much coffee?
He was so sweet. He tormented me and drove me crazy, but would do things like surprise me with coffee in bed on Saturday mornings.
Wonderful,
Aw.
wonderful. All right. I'm going to leave his love with you. Bless you. And thank you so much. I'm so pleased we connected.
Thank you so much, Pauline.
Oh,
Thank you.
oh,
Don't cry.
that was beautiful.
Don't
No.
cry. He doesn't want you to cry. Smile.
Oh,
Happy tears.
Good. Good. Happy tears.
Beautiful.
I like happy tears. Right. Okay. Where's all my scribbled notes that I've done here? Right. Right. Okay. This next one. I need a female. She did really well with her education, and she could have done anything because she was that bright, but she got in with a bad crowd, and she felt tired. That's how this all started, and she started to take some kind of, I don't know if it was an amphetamine or something to help her with the tiredness, and unfortunately she became addicted to it, and she moved on to stronger things, and unfortunately she her body couldn't cope with it, and she comes forwards today, and I feel that she got extremely thin towards the end, and she comes forward here to try and to connect again with her family, to try and smooth the water, and let them know that she's okay now and that she's in a better place, but wants to talk to her family. So does anybody understand this lovely girl? She did very well with her education, and then she got in with a bad crowd.
can anyone take this? I think. So you'd say a young adult?
Yeah, she'd gone through her education, but it was the tiredness, and whoever that she was around with, they'd given her some sort of amphetamine to make her feel less tired, but she became addicted to it, and it was the addiction that would have taken her.
Can anyone take any of this, any part of this? Nobody is writing in the chat right now, Pauline.
Right. She's insistent because she's really shouting at me now. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And I feel that she's very, very beautiful as well, but she's got haunting eyes as she's looking at me, and I feel she lost a lot. It's the body weight, the loss of the body weight. And somebody accepts everything except the thin part. No, as I'm seeing her, she's very slim. Okay, so Peter's tapped something in there. Does Peter understand this?
So Peter, his daughter, 2 degrees Simone, was on antidepressants. All right, Laurie is saying, my daughter had a music education, but not traditional. Everything else fits. Do you want me to ask? Peter said the drugs she took were prescribed by a psychiatrist.
Right.
So,
okay. No, I know. I just feel this youngster got in with a bad crowd.
do you want to speak to Laurie? She said it was a music education, not a traditional.
Right.
Or what you're seeing, Pauline, would that not fit?
She did well with her education. So did she qualify with this music? Or was she good enough to qualify?
Hi, Laurie, can you please answer this? Or do you want to maybe speak to Laurie to see if you think it is her? Yes, she was a professional musician, so.
Right, and does she understand the tiredness?
Yes, okay, so I've asked Laurie to unmute. Hi, Laurie.
Hi.
Can you
Laurie,
turn your camera on?
I guess if I have to.
We prefer for the recording, please, if you could.
Okay.
Thank you.
hi,
Okay.
Laurie. Hi.
Hi.
So, but she did well with this education.
Well, it's not like college. She had music lessons for her whole life, and she was a
Yeah.
musician.
Yeah, but she did well. She was good.
She did well with that.
Yeah. And did you understand the rest of it? She felt very tired.
She felt a lot of things mentally and physically, and she had eating disorders, so she was
Yeah.
very thin
Very, very thin.
at
Yeah.
the end, and she had the bad crowd.
In with the bad crowd. And but I feel that when she got in with this bad crowd, she moved on to stronger things. And
Mhm.
she actually told me she actually collapsed. But she says that this was something that she'd fought. So she must be talking about this eating disorder here. She must have fought this through her life.
Mhm.
But she's not here to talk about all of this. She's here to talk to you about what you've actually done for her.
Okay.
Because without you, she wouldn't have been able to have done this. But when she was actually playing her music, she was in another world. That was what she needed.
Yes.
She wants you to know that, Laurie, I don't want you to feel blame for this. Are you holding this in your heart? Yeah. But because there was nothing you could do. You did everything within your power to support her all her life. But she's here today to say, can you remember the good times? Can you remember the laughter, the fun? She's taking me through a store, and she's touching all sorts of stuff and looking, and she liked bright things, but she wasn't bright herself, but she was extremely clever at what she did.
Mhm.
And she's here today that this bad crowd she got in with, once she started this, she couldn't get away from it. And she wants you to know that you did your best to help her as much as you could.
Okay.
All right. You're extremely upset. I can see that, and I don't want to drag this on with you, but I just needed to be able to place her.
That sounds like her.
And she said, remember lots of lovely memories. And she shows some sort of a soft toy. Is she got something of hers like that you kept?
Mhm.
Yeah. And do you hold it?
Yeah.
Hold it, kiss it, do whatever you want with it, because she says that she knows that you know she's there. And to keep talking to her, and keep looking at the photos, because she's right there.
Okay, thank you.
Bless you, and thank you for working with me.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Bless you. Right, okay. How are we doing? Oh, we've got loads of time yet. I've got loads more pages to turn. All right. This next young man that came in, he tells me that he had difficulties with his health, and he had head pains. It's the pains in my head. And I feel these headaches were excruciating, and they would have made him so poorly he would have had to have gone to lie down. And I feel it was investigated, and there was either a brain tumour there or a bleed, which would have caused this pain to be coming over the head. He deteriorated quite quickly. but he tells me he liked out of doors life and he was loads of fun. He never stood still. So when this started, it came on quite quickly. And it's almost as if he couldn't think. One minute he'd say something and then he couldn't put a sentence together, so that you knew that something wasn't quite right and what was going on with him. He had loads of friends. But it's this outdoor life again that I want to talk about with him. And he comes here today to talk to his family.
So Melissa is saying that her son had a brain tumor. He loved the outdoors, Pauline.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask her to unmute. No one else has taken anything else yet. Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Hi,
Here she
Melissa.
is.
Thank you.
Hi,
Thank
Pauline.
you. So do you understand everything? The head pains?
Yes.
And they couldn't get to the bottom of it to start with?
Well, it happened fairly quickly.
And this caused him to have difficulty with his health, because I feel he became lethargic with it. He didn't want to do anything. The head pains, the tumor, and debilitated. And this happened, I've got actually written here, happened very quickly.
Yes, it did.
And but it's the outdoor life he wants to take you to. And remember that outdoor life. Did he camp out? Did he go away camping?
Yes.
And did he ever camp by fast water or like rocky terrain? He's showing me.
Well, he was a Boy Scout, and but we also have a house upstate, so we were outdoors a lot with him.
Right. Okay. And he was never tired. In his growing up time, he had so much energy. He was like winding up a coiled spring. Let him go. But I also see horses. So did he ever ride, or were you near horses?
No, never rode horses. I mean, he did ride a horse once, but it wasn't something he did on a regular basis.
Okay, but he actually rode a horse. As long as he's actually ridden a horse, then I'm going to give you that. But I feel his span of concentration started to go. Did you notice that?
Yes.
It was a span of concentration. He couldn't get his words and he couldn't think. And I do feel somehow there was some effect to his hearing as well.
Vision more, I think.
Right.
Not sure about the hearing, but more vision.
Right. Okay. He was very strong in character.
Yes.
Extremely strong. And he didn't give up with this. He was trying his hardest to fight this.
Yes.
And he did very well. But there seemed to be, he was telling me, a problem with getting the pain under control.
I mean, he didn't complain too much about pain. I believe he was in a lot of pain, but he was a very strong child. And, I tried to give him things for pain, but he didn't like to take medicine.
Okay, that's fine. But he comes dancing in, so you need to know that he's actually fighting fit, and they don't carry this with them through life, through their next life, because they just have to let us know what happened so that I can place him with the right people. So I need you to know he's still enjoying life. I want to be climbing as well. So did he do rock climbing? Did he do stuff like that?
He liked to rock climb. Yes.
And there's a pair of boots. Are they still around? Did they get passed on to somebody else?
No, they're here. They're here. His boots are here.
You've got the boots. Good. All right. And you've also got some writing that he's written down. I don't know what this writing's all about, but he said she's still got some of my handwriting. Okay.
I wear it as a necklace.
And there's a video. You've got a video that you watch and laugh, and he's really quite funny. He had no inhibitions. There was no shyness around him. He'd have a go at absolutely anything. And if he couldn't master it, he wouldn't do it. And he laughs when he tells me that. And oh, that's a beautiful thing. He's just tied a reef knot. Now, if he was a scout, he would have had to learn to tie knots.
Yes,
But
he did.
he's actually tied this reef knot and he's thrown it at me. And in the spirit world, the reef knot is something that is forever. You cannot pull a reef knot apart. You have to push it to get it to move. And he's throwing that to you because he wants you to know that for eternity, he will be linked to you.
Okay, thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Who's Tony? I keep hearing that
He's
name.
Anthony. His name is Anthony.
Fabulous, fabulous, wonderful stuff. All right, so that's made me
Aw.
smile. That's absolutely
Thank you. Thank you.
make me cry.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Oh, hi, Melissa. It's so nice to see you.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you too. Thank you. Thank you.
Right, okay.
Beautiful, Pauline.
All right, I've got another young man. I've got a lot of active kids in here today, and this one, it was a water accident, and he's quite athletic. I can see it as I'm looking at him. He's not massive. He's just a normal youngster. The boat turned over. There was something to do with the boat and fast flowing water, but it was a water accident, and I don't feel that. Because I'm feeling he drowned because I can't get my breath, and he said that he went under the water and it took a while for them to find him, and they worked on him for a time but he didn't recover, but it was in a place of natural beauty, and that's what he keeps saying, a place of natural beauty, but he whoever this is for, he went to the spirit world doing something that he absolutely loved. This was a sport he loved.
Okay. All right, Lynn, you're saying this could be your son. Can you elaborate on that, please? Did your son pass in a water accident, Lynn? Did he drown? Everything but the boat.
Okay. Was there a boat involved when they were looking for him?
Okay, Lynn said no, a helicopter. Larry, about your son, was there a boat involved when he had his drowning? Bobby Quinton is saying had 5 rescue boats dive. Larry saying we had diversity boats. I'm not sure what that is.
No,
So Pauline, it looks like we have Larry or Bobby. Did your son pass in a drowning? Oh, Bobby had a daughter, so I don't think it's Bobby. So I'm assuming that it's Larry.
Tina is also saying that her son drowned while scuba diving, but he was by a boat.
By a boat, but I what they couldn't find him. This is the thing he's making me aware of. It took a while to find him, and they tried to work on him, but he didn't recover.
Okay, so it looks like it's either Dina or Larry, and now Lynn. Hi, Kathy, you want to unmute and help me with this?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Just trying to scroll back and see.
Larry saying it took 6 days to find his son, and Bobby, but Bobby, it's a daughter. It took 4 days to find Bobby's daughter.
No, it's definitely a boy, male.
And Lynn said that there was that he passed by drowning, but she could take everything but the boat. There was no boat.
And Lynn was an hour. Do you want to speak to Larry, perhaps,
Yeah.
Pauline, and see if we think? Okay.
This was quite fast flowing water. It looks fun. That's what's, and it was a place of natural beauty.
Hi, Larry. Can you speak, please? Can you put your camera on?
Oh, sorry. Yes, a year and a half ago, my son drowned off the coast of Santa Cruz. Him and his buddy went out to one of their secluded beaches, and they decided to jump in the water, and a rip current caught him. He had shoulder surgery, so he wasn't strong enough, and the ocean got a hold of him, and we searched for him for 6 days, and then he popped up in the same exact location that he drowned. The reason why I knew that is we had Life 360 on his phone where he sat it on the beach. So,
Can I work with you?
yes.
Okay. And was that a place of quite place?
Oh, it was amazing. Beautiful cliffs, beautiful ocean,
Mm.
just amazing. But the ocean is very, very unforgiving in that area.
Mm. Mm. I can see all that. He's actually showing it to me what was going on there, and it almost feels as if he was dragged, pulled.
Yeah, his friend, they were together. His friend barely got out, pulled himself up on the rocks. Due to Cash's shoulder, he couldn't get himself to the rocks and was pulled back out into the ocean.
Okay. That feels quite strong to me. And did you say they were in a boat or came off the side of a boat?
No, they just walked out in the ocean, just right off the edge. But, we had probably 50 boats through friends, helicopters, airplanes looking for him.
Okay. All right. That feels where I need to go, and you just confirmed that it was a place of natural beauty, but it was almost as if that we don't have so much riptides over here, but it was almost like he would fall down, and every time he tried, he couldn't get back up again, and he just wants you to know that he's tried really hard to make you aware he's there. Have you felt him?
Maybe twice, but not. His mother sees him every night in her dreams.
She has him with astral projection, does she? So he comes in her dreams.
Yes.
Good.
Yes, she flies almost every night.
Good. That's fine. And he's writing up April here. Does April mean anything to you?
Nothing that I know of right now.
Okay.
I mean, we always used to come skiing on spring break up here in Montana.
What, in April?
Yes, first week of April.
Okay, that's because you just said April, and he shows me something like a rucksack. Did he have a rucksack with him that day?
He had a big backpack full of all of his stuff.
Yeah, a rucksack is what we'd call as a backpack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. And I want to say to you that he wants to thank you for the opportunities that he had. The opportunities that you gave him.
Yeah, he was our only child.
Yeah, I know this is very hard, Larry. Really hard for you. So if you don't have to answer me, I'll just talk to you because it's the message that's important. The message that's important here. And as he comes really close, he puts his arm around me. So I know he was a loving, caring kid, very loving. And I feel he would have tormented you. I feel he would have run and you couldn't catch him. He shows me all sorts of stuff like that. But there was nothing he wouldn't have a go at. Nothing at all. And the short period of time that you were allowed to enjoy him, he said, remember the fun times. Remember the really fun times. And he's just shown me a picture of skis. So these are snow skis. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I ski. He snowboarded. I taught him how to ski.
Because he just showed me a ski in the snow and a photograph of it being taken.
Yeah,
you got that picture. And
yes.
You smile. I want to put a bobble hat on him. And a devil may care attitude he had. and he just sailed through life. And this was a tragic accident that happened here. And I want to bring him forward to you with all his love. And he holds in his hand a single red rose, and that rose is an eternal rose. So that is a rose of peace and love. And I need to give that to you, Larry, and thank you for working with me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I don't know if this is going to be our last one, but if not, I've got some more as well. I've got a male coming in here, and he said to me he died by suicide, and I'm feeling that he would have. He was asphyxiation, so he would have hung himself. He was found, but I feel there was a male that found him, and he was either family or a close friend. And he wants to come in today to talk to his family to try and explain how this was almost a feeling of release because he couldn't cope with life. He tried really hard, but no matter what anybody said to him, it didn't make any difference. He knew which pathway he'd got to go. He was slipping into almost like a depression, but then when people thought he was getting over it, that is the time that they go ahead and do this, and that's exactly what he did. But he's here today to try and bring some peace to the family, and to try and explain a little bit more to them, and to leave the memories that he carries your memories with him. So I need someone who could understand that.
So far, Valerie can take this. I don't know if there's anyone else. No one else. So I'm going to unmute Valerie. Hi, Valerie.
Hi.
Valerie, can you wait please so I can see you? Oh,
I'm here.
I can see you.
Hi, Pauline.
Hi. Do you understand everything I've said here?
I do. We just didn't know he was depressed. It was totally out of the blue.
Right. Okay. That's the feeling I got where sometimes when I've studied this and they get to a point where you think they're perfectly happy, and that's the dangerous time. But he says that he didn't do this out of malice. He did this because he couldn't cope with life. Things seemed to be going wrong for him. He had lots of things to push him forward with life, but he just couldn't seem to pick himself up and do it. And he would be knocked down quite quickly by silly little things that other people would have coped with. But he's telling me he was a highly sensitive young man.
It definitely was. Yeah. And yeah.
Speak to me. That's fine, Barry. Speak to me. He's highly sensitive.
Yeah, he was an empath. You know, he took everybody's pain upon him. He was very sensitive. Amazing kid. You know.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And he knows the pain and suffering it's caused, but he says that he's free from all that now. He doesn't have to suffer it, but he looks back fondly at his family. And I know it's left a gaping great hole in your life. And is there a special jumper you wear or somebody wears of his?
We all have his clothing. So his sister has lots of his sweatshirts. My husband has his shirts. I have his t-shirts, his socks, his pants. I mean, we wear his clothing, all of us.
That's good, because he tells me that you wear his clothing. And he also now just puts a watch in my hand. So was there a special watch as well?
Absolutely. So my father, his grandfather, who he was very fond of, gave him his watch. And my husband now, who doesn't ever wear watches, has been wearing it for the last 3 years nonstop. So my husband has Daniel's watch.
Fabulous, fabulous. And he smiles at that because that watch meant such a lot to him. It meant such a lot to him. He just shows me a certificate. So did he get a certificate for something? Is there something special?
he got posthumous college degree. He was an aerospace engineer major, and he died in his last year of college, in his senior year, when he found out he cannot graduate that year. There was an academic snuffle, and the college gave him the posthumous degree because that was his dream. He was all about building rockets and planes, and it was all his life. And
Yeah.
we have that.
He bordered on being absolutely brilliant. You do know that, don't you?
He was brilliant.
Yeah. He borders on being absolutely brilliant. And I feel as a kid, he'd want to build things and show you how he would take things apart and rebuild and make them work again.
That's my Daniel.
And very loving, very, very loving to you. I feel him touching and pulling at your hair here. But he does come and visit you quite a lot, he tells me. He is there.
I dream sometimes of him, not very often lately, but I connect with him some other time, but I always doubt myself whether it's, I have to prove I'm looking for proof and I'm having a hard time, but.
Yeah, please don't doubt. Please don't doubt. He shows me a special seat. Is there a special seat in a garden or something to do with the seat you sit on?
I have a swinger bench. When I found out that he died, I was in the backyard at that time. And although it's old, I cannot throw it away. So I still use it in the backyard. So I don't know if he's referring to that or not.
Yeah, but, that's lovely. That's absolutely fabulous. Thank you very much. Comes with, again, they're all coming in with so much love here, so much love. And the sister, there was a sister?
There is a sister.
And the sister and him were quite close?
When they were younger, yes. Older, no, because he was away in college, for 4 years prior.
But there was a closeness there. He would have stood up for her.
Absolutely, always. And yeah.
Yes,
and
he shows me licorice. What's this about licorice?
I don't think I can relate to that.
Licorice, that's the black sweet we have over here.
I know what it is. I can't think, maybe it will come to me later. I can't think of the name of the significance now.
Okay, I'm going to let you think about that because that comes in quite strong. Licorice, because I can see it all black in his teeth. If it isn't licorice, it's a sweet that he would have eaten and it would have made all his teeth black.
I can't think of any, but I'll check with my family.
Okay, that's fine. All right. He just wants to come with so much love. And thank you very much for working with me.
Pauline, thank you. He's okay then. He's
absolutely fine. Yeah, he's absolutely fine. Full of it still. And enjoy his clothes, he says. Enjoy them.
Thank you.
What about the shoes? He's asking me about the shoes. Do the shoes not fit anyone?
He's smaller size than my husband, but I wear his flip-flops. He used to we're in California, so I was making fun of him all the time. He had flip-flops galore. So I wear this oversized flip-flops once in a while.
Good. I used to wear my dad's fleece that came down to my knees because it just gives us comfort.
Yeah. Thank you, Pauline, so much.
You're very welcome.
Beautiful. That's wonderful, Valerie. I'm so happy for you. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Pauline, thank you so much. Please, anyone that received a validation today, Mary, Alicia, Laurie, Melissa, Larry, Valerie, if you'd like to send Elizabeth a picture of your child with a little write-up, she'd love to put it in the newsletter under the validation stories. I put her email address in the chat. It's simple, elizabeth@helpingparentsheal.org. I hope you'll all come back. Pauline will be back on February 7th and then again on March 7th. Please feel free to book a reading with Pauline. You won't be disappointed. It's just beautiful. And thank you, Pauline. Any closing words you'd like to share with everyone?
Yeah, I just want you all to know that your loved ones are there always. And it's so hard because we're breaking our hearts that they're not stood by us, but they are there. Believe me, they're there. And talk to them, bring them closer, hold things of them, wear their things, enjoy their life, celebrate their life, because they're here to celebrate with you. And bless you all and thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Well, We ask everyone to please unmute themselves and say thank you. We hope you'll join us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. with Isabella Johnson, and then on Thursday night with Jennifer Brazen. So thank you. Thank you, Pauline. This was just
Thank
amazing.
you so much.
Thank you.
You have a
Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you, Pauline.
Okay.
bye-bye.
Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pauline.